Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Portakeeper YouTube channel today. And I just kind of thought it might be fun to do a more raw and unedited look at this Wendougee DATA Espresso Machine. So a lot of people have had a lot of questions. You may have seen me show this on the Espresso Outlet YouTube channel. This is my own channel where we can just kind of have fun, and it's more or less going to be like you're here. So we're just going to talk through the features of this machine. I don't want it to be like real boring. If it gets a little bit boring, hang with me because we're going to be going to the next subject here pretty quickly. I do have a camera on a gimbal, so we are going to be moving today. Sorry if we're a little bit bouncy, but this is the Wendougee DATA Espresso Machine. You can see pretty much right off the bat, it's somewhat of a traditional looking espresso machine, but it does have the tablet on top, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But what I really like about this in the traditional standpoint is it is a dual boiler. So this is a saturated group head. It has a small boiler behind it with the saturated group head in the front, and then down here it has a small steam boiler. So you're getting that traditional espresso machine design, but you're also getting the tech. So the tech, which we'll talk about just for a sec, I mean, a lot of people are going to compare this to like a modded out Gaja or maybe the Decent, and I would say, yeah, they're more or less correct in a lot of ways, but it is its own brand. It is its own flavor of what makes this technology tick, and I really have enjoyed what they have put into this machine. So quick overview, you can do like pressure profile at the top. This middle graph is for weight and the bottom one is for flow. So you can do a combination of flow and pressure. Usually you're going to choose one or the other, and there's various reasons to do so. Now, what's really cool inside this machine, and it's hard to show you because it's probably the most buried piece, is it does have a gear pump. And it sits about right there in the back. And what's cool about gear pumps is their ability to accurately and repeatedly measure amounts of like fluid or some sort of a chemical. A lot of times they're used in like refineries and stuff to like measure chemicals. So its ability to repeatedly measure the same amount of liquid is awesome on these gear pumps. So they've opted to put a gear pump in this. But then they've also, and we'll show you here, I'm going to take the top off. They've also added a flow meter. So combining that gear pump with an encoder wheel and then a flow meter, you're able to very repeatedly pull the same shots without a scale. Now, it might throw you off a little bit. Like you can see on this profile up here, it says 79 milliliters. 1 milliliter, give or take, is about a gram. So that'd be about 79 grams of water, which that's too much for an espresso, right? Or usually like 36, 35 out. Well, what you got to take into account on this is puck saturation. So when you pull it out, there is a certain amount of water that stays in your puck, and then the rest actually goes through to make your espresso. So you will have to take that into account. I'd say 78 to 79 is pretty perfect for getting about 35 to 36 grams out. It does have the ability now, I kind of messed up. This is the Akaya scale. The Akaya scale doesn't pair with this machine, but the $130, it's like $129 Buku scale does. I have one, it's in my house. I forgot to bring it today. But if you have a Buku scale, you can pair it to the machine, and you'll see like this profile right here has a little scale icon. And you'll notice instead of it being milliliters, it's grams. So when this scale hits 35 grams, it's gonna say the shot's done. So you pretty much could do either or. I used the flow a lot in the beginning because it didn't have the scale integration quite yet. I'm just really blown away at how, I mean, it's going to stop at 35, 36 grams pretty much every time, depending on how I program that. And it does depend on your grind size. So like if it's just gushing out, it might overshoot. But if it's dialed in correctly, it's pretty remarkable how you can do back-to-back shots. So the heat up time, I mean, they say about 5 minutes. I'd say give it 10. You can see we have like really nice steam and hot water. We could pull a shot right now. It hadn't really been on that terribly long. Comes standard with a bottomless, I think this is a 21 gram basket. I think it comes with 2 baskets now. Don't quote me on that, but it's more or less a precision. I've been really impressed. I usually throw those baskets away from like just whoever. I won't even name anyone. And these, they've been great. Let me pop it out. It is ridged, but it's done just a fantastic job. Has really nice, mostly straight walls. I've not seen any need to exchange this for like a VST. I really like the VST, and I think it performs very similar to a VST, so I've just left them in both of my machines. Now let's talk about some of the cool stuff that's just like, you might not notice it right away. So you can see the feet on the side and how they're kind of set back from the machine. Now, I really like this because you can grab your towel. It's really easy to go under it and clean up all around it. But let's say you wanted to have the feet in the front. Let's set this off to the side. Let's say you wanted to have the feet in the front. You can see that there's actually threading, and you can unscrew that foot and you can move it forward. So I think that's a really cool, innovative feature. I've absolutely been surprised how much I love the feet further back. I think it prevents less damage in shipping. I've seen so many machines through the years that this feet in the front and it gets a dent or a crack right here. This is how it comes out of the box, and I've left it and I absolutely love it. I think it's just easy to clean under. We do have the drip tray off. Sorry for moving you around so much, but I mean, it's a pretty ample drip tray, and it is plumbable, so you can connect a hose to the back. Now, if it's plumbed, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to pull it off, but it works really good. I really like it. Your tablet on the top, if you look at my white one, it has a USB-A, but on this one, it's USB-C, and that's what they're shipping now. So you can plug your tablet in with USB-C and keep it topped off. I have an iPad on mine today, pretty much iOS or Android OS. You can go pick up a tablet for $200. You can probably find an old iPad mini for $200, and I just leave it. You can use your iPhone, you can use your Samsung Galaxy, whatever it is. We've tried quite a few and they all work great. Before we take off the top, water tank, really nice design. Kind of has like this gasketed fitting with the airlock in the top. And if you're moving your machine around, maybe pulling it out or pushing it back to fill it, this little grommet really keeps it from sloshing around and sloshing out. I really like that it's a little bit more of a firm fit than just those ones that lay on top and may leak everywhere. Let's just take this off. So we have our iPad. Let's just set it aside. And it has this tray, or this little holder for your tablet. And it does click into place. You'll see it has these little ball bearings on top to keep that tablet holder in place. So if you want to take it off, it just simply slides out. And maybe you're just wanting to use this machine without a tablet. And we'll talk about like binding a profile here in a second. I probably should have covered that, but you can bind a profile to this paddle, and during the week, maybe you're not wanting to connect a tablet or your phone, it's going to run that same profile. I did take these two screws out already because I knew we were going to open this up in this video. Let's just go on the back. So here's the back of the saturated group head. It's pretty hot, so we're not going to touch it. Here's our flow meter, and you can tell these aren't cheap parts. These are parts that they put into commercial equipment. So got your guy car, you got your DOE solenoids. I mean, these are commercial pieces of like parts inside the machine. So very high build quality. Everything is witness marked from the factory, so they know that it's not loosened, and they also know that it's been tightened down. Have our Bluetooth module, our tank here. You can't see it, but on the side, about right here in the middle, underneath quite a few things, is the gear pump. Really a nice gear pump. It's actually custom made for Wendougee. I've had a lot of people ask, like, is it like a Fluidotech or something like that? They're actually custom made and extremely high quality. Have some like renderings on our website of them. Not a whole lot to really show you. You can see this is like your saturated brew boiler, and then the silver down at the bottom is our steam boiler. Again, kind of hard to see. Now, if you wanted to take these panels off, it's really cool. It's just two screws, and these panels just lift off. So you can really strip this machine down, take the top off and the two sides off with 6 screws. And it doesn't really take that long. Really nice look. If you have the direct connect, which this doesn't, it has a connection in the bottom back here, and that's where you're going to connect your water line for just a direct connect. Let's put this back together. Now, I did mention, like, maybe on the weekdays you're not wanting to pair a phone or your tablet's dead or for whatever reason. You'll want to make sure that you're connected first, but you can go into the settings. Oops. And you can see where it says bind. And let's say we just wanted to bind this flat 9. If this tablet wasn't even on, like, it's going to be disconnected. If we hit this paddle, it's going to run a flat 9 bars until the shot's done. If we wanted to change that, let's change it to a different one. We have this 9 to 6. It has a pre-infusion, so you won't hear it. It'll run out a little bit at first. Turn that tablet back off. Pre-infusion. It's going to have a pause. And then it ramps up. So you don't have to have the tablet or your phone to run it. To cancel it, you just hit it again. Super easy to use. Let's get back in there. So that's really about all I wanted to cover today. I mean, I think it's a really cool espresso machine. I know a lot of people are going to want to compare it to other stuff. And I would say it's really just kind of its own design of espresso machine. And I've really enjoyed it a lot. I really like the saturated group head. I like how fast it heats up. I feel like it has a ton of steam. These are anti-burn steam ones. I had someone ask, why does it have the rubber? And can I swap this? And I said, I don't know why it has the rubber, but it is anti-burn, so you don't have to worry about doing any upgrades like that. I've always liked joysticks. My Giotto has knobs. My Quick Mills have always had joysticks, and I feel like they're really nice. They are springy, but they do lock both steam and water. So a lot of really nice premium features. Again, it's like $3,000. So if you're going to compare this to maybe like a Lillet Bianca or an R58, the value that you're getting in this is pretty huge in my opinion. A lot of premium parts. The build quality is, in my opinion, fantastic. So I've been really impressed with it. So if you've enjoyed this, just hit like and subscribe as it helps. I want to do more stuff on the Portakeeper channel. I don't really do a whole lot on the Portakeeper channel, but that would help me keep the motivation up to just keep doing little videos like this. And we probably need to do some videos just showing you like some of these different shot profiles and like what you're really going to get out of it. I've used this to make tea. I've used this to make like drip coffee. You can use the normal portafilter for drip, but it also has like a conical filter that it comes with. So really jam-packed machine for a ballpark of about $3,000, which I'd say is pretty much on par with some of those other ones that I just mentioned. So I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and make sure to come back and tune in for some upcoming content. Have a good one.